All right. So, welcome to today's webinar. And in the last webinar, I spoke about Cooper Club, but this made me study a lot about the homeopathic literatures in and around the English era, the era of Clark, the era of Burnett, the era of Skinner, the era of Cooper. And when I was studying it, I came across fascinating literatures where how they used to prescribe and how they used to treat pathological cases, and it was really fascinating and amazing for me to really share this. So I thought of studying it in detail and then sharing with all my dear friends and students and my teachers also here. So as we know, RTC, that is Robert Thomas Cooper was basically a ear surgeon in London Homeopathic Hospital, but he was very interested in homeopathic medicines, and especially he developed a lot of plant remedies. He would call this arbovital therapy, and he actually wrote a very interesting article in 1897. This is a finest article you should read. It's an article, "What can be done for treatment of chronic deafness?" And there he has spoken so much about so many cases, more than 100 cases of deafness, and how homeopathy has helped in more than 75% of cases. And then he's written about remedies and how he uses the remedies. And this is again a point of very much of interest. He spoke about a lot of remedies that we don't normally use of. And I started studying them and I started applying them, and the results are something that I want you to apply and tell me. So some remedies I want to share with you. One of the remedy I want to share with you is Agraphis nutans. This was used by Cooper majorly, and the main symptom is adenoids. Adenoids with tendency for catarrh. So whenever children come and you have adenoids, and we normally give Calcarea Ka, Baraita Ka, but with lot of cold and cough, coryza, adenoid, huge swellings, along with, you can see, a kind of deafness. Think of Agraphis nutans. Calendula, Cooper writes, is the main remedy given in mother tincture or low potency, 6 potency, for chronic deafness. When deafness is not improving, with hearing difficulty, especially in cloudy weather, calendula is the main remedy. Very interesting, because this is something I wanted to remember. Cherianthus, this is a very important remedy. Again, Cooper writes about. You have to understand, he would see a lot of deafness cases. So that's why he developed a lot of materia medica of ear pathology. Tinnitus, for example, he had many cases of tinnitus. Cherianthus, very important, wisdom teeth cutting causes deafness. Then comes the main remedy, and I want you to apply this. Kali hydroiodicum, that is essentially Kali iodicum. And the main symptom he says is, especially it's a clinical specific for tinnitus, but a very important keynote is noises in the head. Now, I want to tell you this, that the remedies I am telling you need not be used as specifics, but needs to be understood how it is used, and then it can be used in individualizing symptoms. For example, Kali hydroiodicum. You have to see the other symptoms of Kali hydroiodicum, the Kali symptoms, the state of mind of Kali, the iodine symptom. Like that, you try to analyze. Veratrum viridi, he writes, is very important for acute inflammatory disease of the ear. Like how we use belladonna, he says Veratrum viridi. Viola odorata, he writes about this being especially a kind of when there is a lot of discharge from the ear and suppressed by cold or fever. Think about Viola odorata, like aconite. Then he talks about silphium. This is a remedy almost like Kali bichromicum, but he uses mainly, and you can see it has stringent discharge, but he mainly uses for cancers of the throat and mouth. Silphium. Always remember he uses this in low potencies. Mathula graca. This is a remedy which is from Thalaspi bursa pastoris family, that is crucifere, and he uses this mainly for obstruction of bile duct in mother tincture form. This is another very interesting remedy, Arbutus andrachne, that is strawberry tree, and he has cured many cases of arthritis with this. And one of the main thing is shifting joint pains. Very interesting. And slightest motion aggravates. Arbutus is a brother of Calmi and Ledum for people who understand the kingdom ideas. Juniperus communis, very important remedy, especially old people with poor digestion and suppression of urine, especially for pylitis. Juniperus, interesting. Scrofularia nodosa, this remedy I've used very often. I had a case of fibroadenoma of the breast, and her main experience was that of suffocation, and it boiled down to be a beautiful case of scrofularia, which helped. Nodosities in the breast is the keynote. Salix mollis, I haven't used this remedy, but Cooper claims to be a very important remedy for sciatica. Viburnum, very important for pain in ovary. Viscum album, that now many homeopaths are using Escador therapy. This is actually prepared from Viscum album. Viscum album, especially sciatica, slightest motion aggravates like bryonia. Melandrium, very important for cancer. You have to understand Cooper was the guy who cured many cancers. Whenever cancer, any products are remaining in the body and everything else have been removed by homeopathy, allopathy, radiation, anything, remember melandrium. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Some use of lesser known remedies in obscure cases. So write to me. Special thanks to Dr. Juhi for this presentation, and Pratik and Alpesh. You can write to me about what you thought about these Cooper remedies that I spoke about, and